USA in FIBA competition, Olympic competition, a bad thing and a bad sign for the NBA in the future? I want to welcome you guys to the conversation. So today, let's get into the topic. So, as you see what's been happening in Team USA in the competition over the last, let's say, 10 years, it's had some ups and downs. Now, why is that? Yes, Team USA has gone on to win Olympic championships, especially the FIBA World Championships with the World Cups coming up. And they've had some success along the way. But with that success, they've also had a lot of pitfalls, especially with a lot of player injuries. Now, as of recent, we can look at people that have been getting injured, like Paul George and other players that have been getting injured in these FIBA competitions. And, it makes me wonder what's actually going to happen with the Team USA, roster moving forward, because recently they just lost to Australia, which is a first. They hadn't lost in FIBA competition in over 13 years. Now, all of us as basketball fans and some of us who are Americans, we take a lot of pride in Team USA's performance, especially on a global, stage, because what happens is, we want to sort of solidify ourselves when it comes to basketball as being the number one sort of country that produces the best basketball players. In other sports, we don't do as well, but with basketball, we try to at least solidify that position. But with injuries in the past and the freakish injury that happened to Paul George and players pulling out year after year after year, and what just happened with the last, with this current team, which all of us know is not the best team that, the Team USA has had in the past, with them losing to Australia just recently, and all these players that originally had signed on to play in international competition that decided that they didn't want to play this coming season, this coming, championship round or whatever it is, and then now we're seeing what's happening. I'm beginning to wonder what's going to happen with Team USA moving forward in the future. With so many star players dropping out, it leads you to wonder, how are we going to be able to compete going into the future? Now, if you look at Jerry Colangelo, who's the president or the managing director of, of international basketball for the USA, he's the one that's really going to have to wrestle with this question. And it goes back, and now seeing what's happening with them losing to Australia, it makes me think of someone that they actually decided not to have on the team. Now, I want to ask you guys, do you think that Carmelo Anthony would have been able to make a difference on this team? Considering that the players that they have on the team, do you think that Jaylen Brown is better than Carmelo Anthony, at least from an offensive standpoint and having experience playing in international competition? I think it's a mistake that Team USA made by not having Carmelo on the team. And now with so many star players pulling out and watching all of these injuries, a lot of people, they're beginning to have whispers from people like Charles Barkley saying that he thinks it's a bad idea for star players to play in international competition. Now, I'm sure his whole idea is to protect the players, which makes a lot of sense, but he himself competed on the original Dream Team. He was on the original Dream Team. So I don't know what necessarily his final point is, because yes, he can say he doesn't want star players participating in these, FIBA competitions, and teams shouldn't allow them to do so. Yes, that's fine, but so what does that mean? That USA is just going to drop out of the competition altogether? We have to also put into consideration that other countries have their best players playing on their roster. They have Giannis and other players in the past. You had Manu Ginobili and Pau Gasol, Marc Gasol, you had Serge Ibaka, and so many other great international players playing for their teams. So, it begs the question of, what is Team USA going to do moving forward? Are they just going to continue to have, star and marquee players pull out of the competition? Or are they going to have to find a happy medium? Or are players going to understand that you could get injured in any facet of basketball? And a great example of that is, look what happened to DeMarcus Cousins. He got injured. He tore his Achilles playing, in basically a scrimmage game with his teammates, and he tore his Achilles. That could have happened on the court. That could have happened in international competition. So, it's a really slippery slope for us to walk moving forward. And considering that this is not the best team that Team USA has, I think they're going to have a real conundrum moving forward. So what I want to know from you guys is that if you were the managing director, if you were Jerry Colangelo and you were the, operating, international basketball for the USA, what would you do? What would be your remedy when you have all of these star players dropping out, and then you have these young players who are not really developed and they don't have the experience to really compete just yet? They may have the talent, but they don't have the experience. How would you construct your roster? Would you try to go for B-level players and try to get some old, good veteran players and try to mix them in? Or would you just try to find a way to, to just work with what you have, or try to find a way to recruit stars, the top tier stars in the NBA to play on the international team? So that's what I want to know from you guys. For me, I don't really have a solution to it, but I'm sure you guys are going to have some great ideas on how you think Team USA should move forward with it. So if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys on the next episode. This is Charles here from DreamersPro. Peace.